Morning, guys. Let's talk about the games happened on 21st, December 21st, 2024. Action-packed Saturday. The first game is the Brooklyn Nets lost at home versus the Utah Jazz 105-94. Colin Sexton, he's been getting a lot of minutes. Jordan Clarkson got 30 minutes here as well because I think Keontae George was out. I don't think it was a serious injury. It's just going to be out for one game. Try to sell these guys high, to be honest. Jordan Clarkson, come off the bench, had a pretty good game. If you tell me these guys are going to get 30 minutes a game for the rest of the season, they're must rosters, but they're not, right? This Jazz team, really the only guy that's going to get consistent minutes might be Lauren Markkinen. Maybe Walker Kessler to some extent. He had some foul trouble. He only played 20 minutes. Another guy that we really need to sell high is John Collins. Played 35 minutes here. The reason is that we're trying to sell John Collins is that just like Colin Sexton, just like Jordan Clarkson, he's not part of the future for this Utah Jazz team. So he could either get traded, right? We don't know when he's going to get traded, or toward the end of the season, they might just not play him, right? It's a big risk. Compared to like a Keontae George, you feel much comfortable because, they want to grow him as a player. But again, John Collins right now is ranked super high. But if you can't get a top 40 player back, what's even the point, right? He's a 41st ranked player. Don't trade him for a top 60 player, right? Anybody inside that top 50, we could pay some attention to. Otherwise, there's no point. You just hold, right? Lauren Markkinen, not the best game. He had 2 blocks, 21 points. He's been very, very disappointing this year, in and out of the lineup. And the concern with him is how many games they're going to play. But a great win for the Jazz. Well, actually, the first game was the Lakers versus the Kings. But we'll go back for the Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons absolutely must roster at the moment, and try to sell high at the same time. He's played 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes back-to-back games now ever since Dennis Schroeder got traded. Let's see, how long, how long his back could hold up. He's been dealing with back injuries, right? Did a couple of surgeries. So if he's healthy, yeah, he's gonna give you really good value. 10 assists and 2 steals is amazing. 5 for 6 from the line is also surprising. Keon Johnson, in the short term we could stream him, but once Cam Thomas comes back, he's not gonna get the minutes. Claxton got his 25 minutes. Just worry with Claxton. Right, it's just hard to play him and Ben Simmons together offensively. Right, they're really challenged. Noah Clowney played 20 minutes. I think because a couple other guys were out. Right, you have Dorian Finney-Smith out, and Cameron Johnson continues to play really, really well. He's also a sell high. Anybody on the Brooklyn Nets, maybe outside of Cam Thomas, right? If they play well, if you can get somebody. You should try to do it. Just the uncertainty, right? They might lose minutes. They might get traded. But at this point, I think it's pretty safe. All right, we give Shake Milton one more game. He had 5 fouls again. And he and Ben Simmons they're the only 2 real point guards on this team. So, we give Shake Milton one more game. See what happens. If he still doesn't play well, it's fine. We could drop him. Maybe at some point this season he's going to start playing well. Just not right now. The Lakers beat the Kings 103-99. Lakers were struggling for a little bit. And then, now they're the 5th seed. They won 3 straight. That's not bad. They're ahead of Denver right now. But the West is just super competitive. As we know. The Grizzlies, the Rockets, they're high up there. AD only had 10 points, interestingly, versus the Kings. LeBron took 24 shots here. A huge game from LeBron with 4 steals, 6 assists, 32 points. He wants to. He can still put up numbers. It just, how much effort he needs to reserve for the playoffs. It's a long season. Austin Reeves, now he's basically the starting point guard. Played 35 minutes, but he's fallen off quite a bit, to be honest. Hit 1 3, 16 points, still okay. And D'Lo finally able to get some minutes. Played 30 minutes here. Um, and this is not a bad line. 20 points, 5 assists, and 3 threes. So at this point, you just hold it. You hope for the best. And Rui Hachimura, if you want to aim for some rebounds and some points and some efficiency, you could do that. He added a steal and block, so not bad at all. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox continues to be amazing. 31 points, 7 assists, and 3 threes. Sabonis versus AD still had 19 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. These two guys is very consistent. Meanwhile, DeMar DeRozan has fallen off. I would say try to buy low if you can. Throw him on a top 50 player. Right? We just talked about John Collins. If you can trade John Collins to get DeMar, right, that's a trade I'll be looking to do. But again, if depending on what your team needs, right, DeMar DeRozan, he's a very efficient scorer, right? So you can get a bunch of points, very very good efficiency, and some assists and good free throw. John Collins is very good efficiency, but more field goal. So depending on what you need. But John Collins for DeMar, I think will be a great trade, especially for your team. Yeah. So try to look for these type of trades. Malik Monk struggled, but still had 8 assists. He played 35 minutes. He's gonna be a top 50 player if he keep this up, right? They finally figured out that it's a good idea to start him. 8 assists, amazing. Just he's just really good. Move on to the next game. The Miami Heat lost to Orlando Magic 114-121. The Heat, no Jimmy Butler. Where is this team going to go? But I think Duncan Robinson is someone we need to pay attention to. Same thing with Terry Rozier. I think maybe worth picking them up in preparation of Jimmy Butler getting traded. Depending on who they get back. But if they get some draft picks back, Duncan Robinson and Terry Rozier, they're going to get more minutes. Same thing with Triple J. And they can put up some numbers. Nice numbers. Maybe even Jovic. We don't know, right? We just got to wait. But in the meantime, Terry Rozier could be useful for points and threes, assists, streaming. If he can get 30 minutes off the bench. Duncan Robinson, you can always stream him for threes. Tyler Hero had a decent game with 22 points, 3 threes, 5 assists, while Bam Adebayo, very empty line. 23 points is okay, but 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 0 assists, 2 steals. We just don't know what Bam is. When we draft Bam Adebayo, don't really expect him to get us a lot of defensive stats next year. Now he's kind of a player that's very efficient. Can get you DeAndre Ayton type of player now. Obviously, he has more availability. He probably gets more assists and more defensive stats than Ayton, but he's basically a big man that pretty efficient, good at free throw, and gets you some rebounds. That's it. He's definitely an undersized center, and he was a minus 35 here. Yeah, kind of getting exposed a little bit. Versus the Magic. For the Magic, Anthony Black started. Magic had nobody yesterday. They had nobody. Jalen Suggs is also out. So their top 3 best players or whatever out, they still lost. Gogo Badazi absolutely went off. 8 for 8, 13 rebounds and 2 blocks. Amazing. KCP took the usage because he has to. He had 12 free throws. Huge. 12 for 12 from the free throw line, 24 points. And Anthony Black, the reason he only played 18 minutes because he was a minus 15 in those 18 minutes. But in the short term, we know why he played 18. Anthony absolutely went off. He had 35 points. Yeah, I think with Jalen Suggs is out, both Anthony Black and Cole Anthony, we could stream both of them. Maybe they split the minutes, whatever, but I think both guys maybe have some upside worth streaming because they could pop off. Wendell Carter Jr., why did he only play 20 minutes? Did he get hurt again? This guy just cannot stay healthy. He's probable. Okay. Oh, he had 2 technical fouls. Got it. Okay. Good win for the Magic though. Somehow they put out a win with everybody injured. The next one is the Grizzlies. They are just really good. I would say it's definitely a surprise. I think their level of style playing, historically, they do very well in the playoffs. In the regular season. The playoffs is where they're having trouble. Because they like to run a lot. Playoffs they slow things down a little bit, and team's gonna prepare for defense a little bit more. So at the half court, they struggle to score. Well, how about Scottie Pippen Jr.? They finally give this man minutes with Ja Morant out. And this game, they didn't have Ja Morant. They beat Atlanta Hawks by what, 20 points? Crazy stuff. They have a lot of good players. But they only give Marcus Smart 9 minutes. Okay. Scottie Pippen Jr. is a stream if Ja Morant continues to be out. Desmond Bain, 22 points, 4 threes. But, I don't know what the deal is. They are not giving these guys minutes. Is this the blowout? I guess it kind of is. But you only give Desmond 26 minutes for him to rest? I don't know. This is the problem with Grizzlies player this year. Jaren Jackson Jr. is still putting up good numbers in limited time, but Ja Morant, Desmond Bain, 2 years ago, they would play 35 minutes a night. This year, Desmond Bain I feel like he's just really under the radar. Nobody really talks about him. Desmond Bain is not having a good year. He's a 76th ranked player, averaging just 28 minutes with 15 points and 2 threes. Those are pretty bad numbers. Yeah, pretty bad. For a guy that's getting drafted, I don't know, 3rd, 4th round. Yeah, I don't see his minutes go up either. So if he play, maybe he has a big name, try to sell high. Zach Edey, I think, if you want to pick him up for field goal and rebounds, yeah. He had no blocks here, but six rebounds and 10 points with 26 minutes. Santi Aldama, the guy has been putting up crazy numbers too. Same thing with Brandon Clark, given the minutes. But, the Grizzlies' strategy is give everybody 25 minutes. And when they're on the court, they go crazy. Right? They have crazy effort out there. I don't know if it's going to work in the playoffs. But they're winning a lot of games in the regular season. For the Atlanta Hawks, all right, this game they had no Trae Young. So Jalen Johnson is their best player, I guess. Oh my God, Dyson Daniel with six steals and a block and 15 points. Yeah, this man is just incredible fantasy player. Jalen Johnson also 11 rebounds, 8 assists is pretty good with 2 steals and 13 points. Clint Capella only played 18 minutes. Why? They give a lot of minutes to Larry Nance. Larry Nance, we need to pay some attention to. He's a really good fantasy player, and maybe in real life the coach realized, never mind, he was a minus 21. But I think as long as Okungwu is out, like he has some streaming value. DeAndre Hunter only 24 minutes, but had 26 points, efficient, and 7 for 7 from the line, so pretty good. Like if you're looking for efficiency and some points and threes, Hunter is great. Right? He doesn't offer you anything else. Move on to the next one. We have the Sixers lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and of course Embiid is resting. That's to be expected. He's gonna miss a lot of back-to-backs. Maybe we get to the end of the season, he might play a little bit more, or I don't know how Sixers gonna want to do things. They don't have to play him 30 minutes every time he play. Like on the second night of back-to-back, play just a little bit, right? Also depend on who they play. I guess they play the Cavaliers. They just wanted to punt this game. Fine, Paul George only played 27. It was a blowout, so nobody really played that well or a lot of minutes other than Tyrese Maxey, who hit 5 threes and 27 points. Well, he had a hamstring issue, so hopefully he doesn't re-aggregate again this season. If he does it again, he will be out for a while, and that's really going to impact him the rest of the season. And then we look at the Cavaliers, another blowout. This is the problem when you're too good. Guys only play 25 minutes, 26 minutes. Garland did that in 26 points and 6 threes in his 26 minutes. Donovan Mitchell hit 19 points. Both guards played all right, and Mobley popped off as well. Almost a triple-double, 7 assists, 2 steals and a block, but it goes 1 for 5 from the line. Yeah, Mobley, I think the only weakness with him in category leagues is just the free throw. Everything else, he does it pretty well. Not much to talk about, just a blowout. The next one is another blowout. And I remember the Bulls beat the Celtics earlier this week, so they're like, yeah, we want to go to Chicago and beat them by 25 points. And Tatum really went off for 43 points, a triple-double. Yeah, good game. But, now that Porzingis is back, I think that his scoring average is going to go down a little bit. But that's okay. He might get more assists, right? He might be more efficient, this type of thing. Jaylen Brown, only 19 points, 8 assists, and a steal. could not hit a three. Kristaps Porzingis 2 steals and 2 blocks, 22 points, amazing. Porzingis every year consistently just a top 20, top 25 ish type of player. If he just can't stay healthy and plays, just guaranteed every single year. Derek White played just 25. That is interesting. Why he only played 25? Because Al Horford would come off the bench, play 25 minutes, and Peyton Pritchard would get 30 plus minutes. So I'm surprised actually. They only maybe it's a blowout. That's why, right? Because Derek White, if it's a close game, he should be getting 35 plus minutes. But Peyton Pritchard, I think we all know, like he needs to be rostered. And I would try to sell high because the minutes just a little bit inconsistent. This game he got 31 minutes, partially because it was a blowout. Right? If there's no blowout, maybe Derek White is going to play 32, 33, right? Peyton Pritchard may not. I don't know if he closed the game or not, but but he needs to be rostered either way. Jrue Holiday 29 minutes, when everybody's back, just not enough usage for everybody to eat. For the Bulls, Zach LaVine mediocre game. Vucevic struggled a little bit with his shot, but that's fine. He got 10 rebounds and a steal. Kobe White 14 points, just seemed very, very empty. The whole Josh Giddey is still out. Yeah, the whole squad, nobody really played that well, right? If anything, I think the person I would be paying attention to on this team is really Lonzo. Everyone else is, they already must, they all already must roster, and there's really not much going on with the team. So I mean, if Lonzo Ball this season he can get consistent 25 minutes a night, then he could be pretty valuable in fantasy in category leagues. So this is the one player that the only player I will pay attention to. Everyone else, maybe I'll pay attention, try to buy low, sell high. But Vucevic was really the only sell high. But seems like he's just performing really well. If you can't get a top 15 player back, there's no point selling. Moving on to the next one, the Washington Wizards got beat by the Milwaukee Bucks 101-112. And how about Jordan Poole? Another decent game. 7 turnovers, yes, 2 for 4, but he hit 8 threes, 26 points. Happy with that. Malcolm Brogdon, they're just messing with Carrington's minutes. Brogdon started and played 24 minutes. He had a horrible game. So Carrington, if you have him, he's been getting a lot of minutes. So I don't mind having him and just see where things go, right? It seems like he doesn't get a lot of defensive stats, but he's a good rebounder and he can get you some assists as a point guard, right? And he's gonna shoot some threes and get some points. So yeah, if he's out there on the waiver wire, I wouldn't mind just have him and just see how things go. And of course, if your team is struggling to make the playoffs, then you shouldn't mess around with that, because he may not produce at all. Alex Sarr, the most encouraging thing is the minutes, and I think he's shooting the ball a lot better too. Hit 3 threes here, 2 steal. He blocked a lot of shots. No worries, 33 minutes is pretty good. Champagnie played just 60 minutes now because Corey Kispert is back. So if you had Champagnie, it's time to drop. And Bilo Coulibaly, what an amazing game again with 12 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals and a block, 20 points. He's playing really, really well. Try to sell high, honestly, because Kyle Kuzma is still out. Right, with Kuzma back, I think he still would get a lot of minutes. It's just that the usage would be gone. Like he wouldn't be taking 14 shots. So this is the worry. But he needs to be rostered at the moment, for sure. For the Milwaukee Bucks, with Damian Lillard out, they started this guy Ryan Rollins, played 30 minutes. I wouldn't really do anything with him. Right, Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green, they're still doing their thing. 3-and-D guys on this team. So, Bucks got a 3 games in 4 nights. They need some threes and defense. Stream these 2 guys. Brook Lopez, no blocks, 14 points. Seemed pretty empty. And Chris Middleton, if he's still on the waiver wire, I will pick him up. He's going to be out a lot of games. But if you have an IR, I don't think that's as big of a concern. And he can put up top 50 numbers. He did 18 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 threes in his 23 minutes. So if he ever ramps up to 30, he's going to be pretty useful. And this game, I didn't see, Giannis is also out. So Bobby Portis went off, but I don't think Portis is a must roster. So if you can get any value back, sure. Otherwise, he'll be droppable. The next one, good bounce back for the Warriors. They got destroyed the last game, 113-103. They beat the Timberwolves. After this win, the Warriors, they're the 7th seed, and the Timberwolves, they're the 10th seed. The West is just super competitive. And Steph Curry, 31 points, 10 assists, and 7 threes. He only had 2 points last game. That's fine. It happens to the best of us. Really good bounce back game with 10 assists too. Dennis Schroeder had a little bit of foul trouble, but it looks like they are going to give him a lot of minutes. I just don't know defensively. If they play a team with a lot of size, and they try to post either Curry, Dennis Schroeder up, there might be a lot of issues, but we'll see. Tracy Jackson-Davis, 25 minutes, sure. If you need some blocks, rebounds, right, he's a guy. Kyle Anderson started, played only 17 minutes. So now with Schroeder starting, they really need some defense. So I don't know if they're going to, start Buddy Hield, right, that type of lineup. They have a lot of offense already. They need more defense. Andrew Wiggins played okay. 3 steals and 2 blocks. It's actually great. So grab him if he's out on the waiver wire. And if you have Jonathan Kuminga, what are you gonna do? Right now he off the bench, played 23 minutes. I would just hold him for 1 or 2 games, see how what his minutes is like. But even if he played 30 minutes, he's not. His upside is really not that crazy. So it's perfectly fine if you just let him go. For the Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards, he's just not having a good year. Anthony Edwards on the season, he's making a lot of threes, sure. 28th ranked player. He's averaging 25 points. That's good. Only 1.3 steals and 0.6 blocks this year, while only averaging 4 assists. So the assist numbers also seem low. Right, 4.3 threes is great, but only shooting 45% from the field and 80% from the line. So efficiency-wise, he's not there yet, and turning the ball over 3 times, not getting as many defensive stats this year. It's been rough. Mike Conley at 5. If you need assists, if you need threes, if you need steals, Mike Conley is the guy. It's fine to roster him. If you need threes and if you need steals, Dante DiVincenzo is fine. You can have him on your roster. Hit 3 threes and 2 steals in his 25 minutes. And Nasri came off the bench, did his thing. Randall just putting up really empty lines game after game. I still don't know why Timberwolves traded Cat. And now it looks like they're losing pretty bad for the Timberwolves. Julius Randle, 104th ranked player. The counting number-wise still okay. 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. And, a little bit defensive stats. And his efficiency this year is not bad at all, actually. 48% from the field and 81.6% from the free throw line. I think the free throw is probably the biggest surprise. But yeah, it's not looking good for the franchise. They decided to. Now speaking of Cat, the Knicks beat the New Orleans Pelicans. Cat played just 27 minutes. He had some foul trouble. That's fine. He had a rough game. Had some foul trouble. Still had a double with 2 threes. Cat has been amazing this year. He's a top 10 player on average, and I think he's gonna finish the year, top 10 player in category leagues for sure. Super efficient. Jalen Brunson, he said he's got it. 39 points and 7 threes, 6 assists and 2 steals. Mikal Bridges brought in the steals and 3 threes, 18 points. Josh Hart, another game with 42 minutes. Man, he already got hurt. He missed a bunch of games. I just don't know if this is a good strategy playing Mikal Bridges. Maybe Mikal Bridges is fine, but yeah, you don't want to run these guys too much during the regular season. But Tom Thibodeau, that's what he does. OG Anunoby had 2 3 and 3 steals. For the New Orleans Pelicans. All right, we got to pay attention to this Missy guy. He needs to be rostered. He played 30 minutes here. Didn't really get any blocks, but yeah, they're giving him the minutes. And Zion's still out. And yeah, I will pick him up and just see how the minute goes. Trey Murphy and Herbert Jones, yeah, these guys try to sell high. with Brandon Ingram and Zion out. DeJounte Murray is still not shooting the ball well, but 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 14 points is all right. CJ also had an okay game. But they still lost to the Knicks. And this Pelicans team in this competitive Western Conference, right? They are going nowhere. So I don't know if they're trying to blow up the team or something. Right? They're paying a lot of guys a lot of money too. All right, the next one is the Clippers. Dallas got their revenge. Clippers lost 97-113. James Harden, I don't remember the last time he shot over 40%. And only 3 assists here. He's been struggling, I think, a lot. 7 turnovers as well. So I don't know if he needs some rest, but it's no good. While Norman Powell is still just pumping out numbers in a major way. 28 points here with 3 threes, 9 for 10 from the free throw line, a steal and a block. What more can you ask from Norman Powell? But if Kawhi ever comes back, Norman Powell's usage is going to take a cut, 100%. Ivan Zubac, a double-double, 13 points, 15 rebounds, a steal and a block. He's been balling all year, and the return of Kawhi would not impact him. This year, really, the biggest difference is he just got more minutes, right? The Clippers, they just can't. They don't have the personnel to go small again, right? They will be too small. Chris Dunn, they starting him and they give him 33 minutes here, so we gotta pay attention to Chris Dunn too. If you need assists and defensive stats, he's the guy. And in category leagues, if you tell me he's gonna play 30 minutes, I think he's a must roster. But a lot of days he doesn't. So for the Mavericks, they did not have Luka Doncic, so Kyrie played 37 minutes. He didn't even shoot the ball well, and the Mavericks still beat them by a lot. Well, they shot 40% from 3. Clay, pretty good game, added 4 steals. You don't see that very often. PJ Washington did his thing. And Derek Lively, if he's out down the waiver wire, let's go pick him up. He's just getting a lot more minutes over Daniel Gafford now. He played 28 minutes, 11 rebounds. He get a lot of assists too, 5 assists. A lot of dribble handoff, setting picks, and then pass it to the guard at the 3-point line, getting those easy assists. 2 steals and 2 blocks. Pretty good stuff. So he needs to be picked up at this point. Move on to the next one. We have 2 more games. The Portland Trailblazers, I feel like they played the Spurs 3 times in the last 2 weeks. And Wemby had a crazy game. But let's talk about the Portland first. Anthony Simons struggled here, but he had 5 steals out of nowhere. If he can average just 1 steal, right? I think he should easily be inside that top 100 player. If he's a little bit more efficient, top 60, 70. Right? His comparison will be like Jordan Poole. Although Jordan Poole get more defensive stats. Anthony Simons should have more usage than Jordan Poole though. Shannon Sharp, sure, 25 points, 3 threes. If you need points and threes, he's the guy. And with DeAndre Ayton playing 28 minutes, rest of the guys, they're not really going to get any. Jeremy Grant goes 12 for 16. This is why. This guy, every once in a while, he's going to have really good games. But that's why I try to sell him. He's just super inconsistent. And Scoot Henderson, another guy that we should pay some attention to, and Danny Advia, right? If they clear the ways for them, these guys getting 30 minutes, they have some useful stuff in fantasy. Especially in category leagues, we know Danny Advia, what he can do. He can do everything, right? 2 steals and 4 assists here is pretty good. And Scoot Henderson is mainly, the points, threes, and assists. We look at the Spurs. Yeah, honestly, Victor Wembanyama is just unfair. 10 blocks here. If you have this man, yeah, like I was saying, at some point in fantasy, it might be unfair to have Victor Wembanyama. Let's say you're the first pick, you pick Wembanyama, and then you have the 24th pick, and then you have the 25th pick. It might be unfair, down the line. Because this is what he can do. And he's shooting 90% from the line this year too, which is a big improvement. And then he's making so many threes. Like, people think Wemby is like, his biggest category is the blocks. Yeah, that's the blocks, but he's doing a lot in the other areas. Like, a lot. 25 points and 10 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, for everybody else that's getting drafted in the first round, most people are doing, maybe there's some people that don't know Luka, right? Shea, they're averaging 30. But 25 and 10 is still amazing. 4 assists is not a lot, but still 4 assists is really good, and 1.1 steals, that even has room to go up, right? He could have a game where he gets 6, 7 steals, so 1.5 steals the rest of the way. I would not surprise. And on top of it, he blocked 4 shots, right? He's been shooting 48%. That's pretty good percentage, 48%. And then on top of that, he's making 3 threes a game, and 87% from the free throw line on 4.5 attempts. He's had a rough beginning, but he's putting it all together. And I think, right, like at this point, if you're asking me, do I want Jokic or do I want Victor Wembanyama? In category leagues, I would say I want Victor Wembanyama. So, but everybody else on the Spurs, I would look to trade. Devin Vassell has been starting, but only get 23 minutes. Chris Paul, start, get only 26 minutes. Really, the only category he offers really is the assist, which is very super valuable. I get it, but try to sell him, you just don't know. Maybe they one day they give more minutes to Stephon Castle, Just give Chris Paul 24 minutes a game. This is something they could do. They start Harrison Barnes, give him 22 minutes. Jeremy Sohan is a guy that we could hold, but if he plays well, also try to sell him. Yeah, these type of players, you just don't know. The minutes come and go very quick. They make a decision, that's it. And it's not because you're injured, it's just they want to tank more a little bit. The last game of the night, the Detroit Pistons, they beat Phoenix. Detroit is a good team this year. Still just a 10 seed, but they beat a lot of good teams. Meanwhile, it's not a good look for Phoenix, right? And Booker didn't play. Cade Cunningham, what a game from him. 28 points, 13 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Yeah, I think this year Cade Cunningham finally is putting everything together. Of course, his ranking is not that high because the high turnovers. But counting number-wise, if you got him, you got somebody like LaMelo Ball, oh my God. Just the assists, the threes, right? He also give you a lot of blocks too, steals, and some good, decent efficiency coming out of him this year too. Jaden Ivey comes back, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 20 points. Actually pretty good, 8 assists. Pretty good stuff. And Jalen Duren played 33 minutes, but no blocks. No blocking, just basically DeAndre Ayton. You don't have that much upside. You really need, as a center, you play 30 minutes, you got to average 1.5 blocks. Tobias Harris, 29 minutes, 10 points, and not much else. And Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley hit 4 and 5 threes respectively. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for threes, these are two. I feel like these are the two best guys right now. For Phoenix, this is a bad look. But KD went off with 43 points, 11 for 11 from the line. Yeah, I mean, the problem with KD is can he stay healthy? Right, he's gonna put up numbers. Right, maybe not as many points when all Booker and Bradley Beal are both healthy. But KD's gonna put up his numbers. The big problem is can he stay healthy? Tyus Jones only 2 assists but had 19 points, almost perfect from the field. Bradley Beal had a big game as well, 26 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. I think the Phoenix Suns, they also have a bunch of 3-and-D guys, Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, right? If you need some threes and defensive stats, they got a back-to-back, right? These guys you should be targeting. And Yusuf Nurkic, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Yeah, I mean, if you need rebounds, you can have him. Otherwise, doesn't have much value. And that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.